So today I'm going to be talking about how to deal with a manager who you feel like is just hating on you. You know, I've heard so many stories of guys tell me that they felt like managers, they just have it in for them. They just don't like them for some reason. Like they tell me that, oh, no matter what I do, no matter how well I play in training, how well I play in the matches, I'm doing all the right things, but my manager, he just doesn't like me. He doesn't start me in games, you know. He brings me on for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. He's never starting me. Or they say, oh, the manager has favourites. And just things like that. They just feel like, oh, a lot of players have just told me they just feel like certain managers, they just didn't like them for some reason, despite them, you know, performing on match days, despite them, you know, putting in effort in training, turning up early to, you know, the training sessions, the match days, but for some reason the manager just never plays them. And to be fair, me personally, I don't think I've ever been in that exact position, but I've definitely seen it happen where the manager will keep putting someone on the bench, and I'll be looking around and I'll be like, yo, this guy should be starting like 100%. But in my opinion, the first point to deal with a manager that you feel like is hating on you is to actually find out, is this manager actually hating on you, or are you just not good enough to get into the starting 11? Because like I said, there are certain cases where the manager is definitely hating on guys, where it's like, yo, this guy is definitely better than this guy, but for some reason the guy who's worse just keeps playing more minutes, you understand? But to be honest, certain guys, I'll be like, yo, they'll be saying, yo, my manager's hating on me, he's doing this, he's doing that. But me personally, I'll be thinking, yo, bro, you were not good enough to get into that starting 11. You understand? It's like in my opinion, you actually have to find out if your manager's actually hating on you or you're just not good enough. And the main way to find this out is chatting to your teammates, in my opinion. If your teammates, because in my opinion, you will know in the change rooms, you kind of know, because I've been there where, you know, the manager will put someone on the bench, and just before we go out to, you know, warm up, or just before we go out to go play the match, certain guy, you hear guys saying that, oh, why isn't this player starting? Why isn't this player starting? Like, why is he never starting? When you hear that, that's kind of your signal to know, okay, the manager's hating on me, because my own teammates think, yo, I should be in the starting 11. But if you're starting on the bench every single game, and your teammates don't really say anything, they're just like, yo, that's our best starting 11. If you hear your teammates, because even in the change room, there have been conversations where people on my team have been like, yo, we'll have conversations like, oh, who's the best starting 11? And if your name is just never there in the starting 11, if you're a right back, let's say, and people keep putting another guy at right back over you, it's sort of like, yo, that's when you know it's sort of like, yo, your manager's not hating on you. It's just that, yo, everyone just collectively feels like, yo, you're just not good enough to get in. You understand? Like, that the other guy's just better than you, and you're not better than any of the other players in any of the other positions. You understand? So actually, the first point is to find out if your manager's actually hating on you, because like I said, a lot of guys are just delusional, in my opinion. A lot of guys feel like, they're way better than they actually are. You understand? So firstly, if you feel like your manager's hating on you, actually just get a feel, because even if your teammates don't say it to you directly, you'll get a feel of like, okay, cool, you should be in the starting 11, or you really shouldn't be. Everyone sort of knows, like, in the change room, the hierarchy, who the best players are, who the worst players are, who the middle of the pack guys are. Like, you can just sort of feel it, just how the way people treat you, how the way your manager speaks about you. Like, if you're one of them guys who are always on the bench, I find this, that the manager's always cracking jokes at the expense of the guys who are always on the bench. You understand? You know, your teammates will crack jokes about, oh, how you never play, how you're this, how you're that, how you can't shoot, you have no first touch. Like, once you hear those sort of things, then you recognize, then you'll be like, alright, cool, my manager's not hating on me, I just need to work on my game. You understand? But yeah, that's the first point. Literally actually find out if your manager's hating on you, because don't just be a victim. Don't just say, oh, he's hating on me, I'm good enough. It's like, nah, look at yourself in the mirror and actually ask yourself, like, yo, am I actually good enough to do this? But yeah, that's the first point. Now, after you figure this out, let's say you figure this out and you're like, alright, cool, my teammates think I should be starting, they think that I'm good enough, let's actually attack the issue. If you feel like your manager's hating on you, in my opinion, you should just go to the coach and be like, yo, coach, what do I need to do to get more minutes? What do I need to do to get more playing time? Because in my opinion, once you go up and ask him and he says, yo, you need to do this, once you actually do that thing, he sort of has no excuse. If he says, yo, I need you to work hard, I need you to run more, and you end up running more, then he has no excuse. It's just clear for everyone to see that he's hating. You know what I'm saying? If he says, oh, I need you to work on your first touch, or I need you to work on your speed, because, you know, you're a fullback and wingers just keep getting past you all the time. You understand? from there, you just know what you need to do. You just need to work on your speed and just do what you need to do. So literally, in my opinion, just go up and ask your coach and be like, yo, what do I need to do? What do I need to improve? And all of that. However, I feel like with coaches, they sort of bullshit around. I can't lie. Sometimes they'll just say anything. Sometimes coaches will just not rate a player, and then they'll just end up saying anything. They'll be like, oh, you need to work on your dribbling, and then you'll be thinking to yourself, damn, but my dribbling is like my best attribute. You understand? Like sometimes coaches will just say anything to you. So if you feel like your coach is not really giving you like clear instructions on what to actually do, I would just say just look at what your coach actually likes in players. Look at what he values in players. You understand? Because obviously different coaches are different. Maybe your coach is one of them coaches where it's like he loves passion merchants on the pitch. He loves guys who shout. He loves guys who scream. He loves guys who run around, put in challenges. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really care about like their technical ability, but it's that like English mentality of like, as long as you go out there and put yourself about, get stuck in, win headers, he likes you, understand? Maybe you're one of them guys where it's like you're a more technical player, you don't really like to get involved in challenges, and he doesn't like that about you. So if you find out there's a correlation there, I would literally just say, just put yourself about a bit more, you understand? That might not be your play style. You might be like a Mesut Ozil type of guy, but just try to put yourself about, just try and put in challenges, just try to adapt, you understand? Maybe it's a case of like, maybe it's the complete opposite where it's like you're a guy, you love putting yourself about, but you tell yourself, I'm working hard, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but maybe your coach just likes more technical footballers. Maybe you're just not the most technical player, you understand? Maybe your coach in centre mid, he wants, players who can, get the ball, turn on the ball, carry the ball, dribble the ball, play through balls, play in between the lines, but that's not really your game. You're more of a just up and down type of guy, but you're not the best technically. But if you find that's the case, then you know what you need to do. Just work on your technicals, work on taking the ball on your back foot, work on playing in between the lines, work on that first touch. Start with the basics. Wall passes, literally the basics. Wall passes, cones, dribbling drills to improve your close control, and just things like that. So yeah, that's the second point. If you just find out just certain correlations, whether it's technical aspects your coach likes in players, or it's sort of physical attributes, mental attributes, no matter what your coach likes, just sort of adapt to that, you understand? Because I've seen definitely a correlation. Like I remember one of the teams I played for, I realized that my coach, he just liked athletes, you understand? He just liked athletes. He just liked all his players just to be able to run. As long as you could run and you had good fitness, he liked you, you understand? And obviously that led to me getting benched for a few games, simply because the coach, what's it called? Simply because I wasn't the most athletic, you understand? Like growing up, I was chubby, I was fat, and I couldn't really move around the pitch, I was technical, I had a good first touch, I could pass the ball, I could spray it about, but like I said, because I didn't have that motor to get up and down, he didn't really rate me. So what did I do? I had to sort of go away in the gym on the treadmill, just sort of run, just trying to up my what's it called? Just up my fitness, increase my work rate. And then what happened? End of the season, I go back into the lineup, I start playing games, you understand? I start playing games, and then boom, I ended up becoming one of the most important players for the team. So you're gonna end up what's it called? With either one of these managers, where they're all gonna have their thing. They're all gonna have, maybe they're like technical players, physical players, maybe they're like guys who are quick, maybe you're a centre back and your coach just thinks, oh, you're too short to play centre back. It can literally be as simple as that. Maybe once both his centre backs 6 foot tall, but you're like 5'9", you understand? If you're 5'9", then just adapt. Just be like, alright, cool, I may not be a centre back, but I can play right back, I can play left back, you understand? I can maybe move into midfield. You just sort of have to just sort of recognise, even without asking the coach sometimes, just find correlation, just find patterns of what he actually likes in players, and then just adapt, and then just adapt from there, and just start doing what he actually likes, and then obviously that'll give you a better chance of getting into the starting 11. To be fair, it might even be systems as well. It might be that your coach thinks you're a good player, but you just don't fit his system in terms of your position is simply just not there. You understand? So maybe he uses you as like an impact sub, but you actually want to start games. So for example, let's say your coach plays like a 4-4-2, but like a diamond. You understand? So he plays the DM, the two sort of centre mids outside, and then he plays a number 10 with two strikers. If you're a winger, then you obviously don't fit in this system. You understand? And maybe your coach just brings you on you know, last 20 as an impact sub. But also obviously you're gonna have to adapt your game. Maybe you try compete for that number 10 role. Maybe you try move to maybe you try prove to your coach that you're a good enough finisher to be one of the two strikers, you understand? So it can literally even be just a case of system. Like I remember when Amorim came into Man United, they were talking about, where are wingers like Rashford and Garnacho gonna play? You know what I'm saying? Where are they gonna play? And then it ends up that Rashford left, Garnacho, he's sort of on the bench, you understand? So it can literally just be a case of like, you don't even have to be necessarily a bad player, but you just simply don't fit the coach's system, and it's your job to sort of find a position where you can play, where you can adapt, because at the end of the day, it's all about just getting your minutes. It's all about just starting, in my opinion. So yeah, but if none of these work, in my opinion, what you should do as a young player is that you should start finding other teams around your area, around the same level as your team, or even a higher level, in my opinion, and just start training with them. Even if you start training with them mid-season, that's fine. Even if you can't play any games with this club, just train with them mid-season, because this is a good thing. Let's say it's January and you haven't been playing for your team. At all, and it's just a case of like, you've basically just had enough. You already know that you're going to leave the team at the end of the season. You're going to be joining a new team next season. In January, go train with another team, because once you go train with another team and you impress the coaches, they get to know you and all that, you get familiar with your teammates in that team. Once summer comes, you're way more likely to join the team, because they know you already. They know what you're about. They've seen you at the training session. They've seen you had good training sessions. They've seen that even the times we have bad training sessions, they know what type of player you are. So because of familiarity bias, they're just way more likely to they're way more likely to take you on, as opposed to someone who just came to trials in June. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, you've been training since January. Even if another guy comes in June, you're more likely to get him, because they know you. You're basically part of their team, especially if you make it clear to them that I wanna play for this team in the upcoming season. You're way more likely to get in. You're way more likely for the coach to let you join the team. And even if you find that the first team that you try to train with mid-season, you don't really like it, you're not really feeling it, go to another team and just keep finding teams until you find one where it's like, alright, cool, I feel like I can actually join this team. It's at a good level. I like the vibe here, I like the coaches, I like the play style, I like my teammates, you know what I'm saying? Even still play for your old team, you know, still go to your old team's trains, your current team's training sessions, still do all of that, even if you're not playing games. Don't just leave mid-season. Stay on the team that you're currently on. And literally start training with a new team. I've done this before, where it's like I've already sort of made my mind up that I want to leave at the end of the season. So I just end up finding teams to just go train with, just to get myself familiar with the coaches, with the players, just in case if I do want to join that team, it's like, alright, cool, they know me, they know my name, they know my play style, they're familiar with me, which gives me an increased chance of actually joining that team next season. So if you still feel like you've done everything you can and your coach is still hating on you, then like I said, I would just find me personally, I'll just find new teams to start training with, even if it's once a week, twice a week, just to get yourself out there, just to get you known to the coaches. And then boom, once the end of the season comes, once pre-season comes for that new team and you go in there, they've already seen you playing for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. They already know what you're about, and if you impress them during that time, then it's basically a done deal that you join a new team. But yeah, that's how you do it with a hating manager. I hope you enjoyed the vid. I've been JT, and I'm out.